For 2 entire weeks, Bitcoin has been trending downwards, allowing no-coiners and Bitcoin haters around the world time to celebrate with joy and cheap champagne. But the real question is, will Bitcoin continue dropping lower? Or is this Bitcoin bounce the real deal, leaving Bitcoin haters no option but to cry to their mothers, whomst they still live with? Wow, but is this bounce off the 100 DMA actually enough to stabilize Bitcoin at and above 50,000 US dollars and allow altcoins to build momentum? Or is this simply a reaction to the massive dumpage over the past 2 weeks? And this chart is signaling something very big for crypto this week. Saddle up, little ponies, it's time to ride. I'm your host, Gilbert Gape-A-Lot, and on this channel we will fill you up with so much knowledge it will be sure to leave a gaping hole. Absolutely sploosh-tastic, guys. We have so much to be getting into today as Bitcoin initiated a little bit of a reversal late last night for me here. And overnight, it continued that reversal all the way up to some very key levels. And the question is this actually the beginning of a reversal? Or is there still some room to go? And I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to be happening here with Bitcoin and as well with some of these alts. Because as it's been pretty obvious for the past few weeks, altcoins are looking stronger still. And I know that upsets some people out there, but realistically, it does. I mean, it's true. Altcoins are looking better. They're above some of their moving averages. They're much nearer or at their previous all-time highs, basically. Whereas Bitcoin is, roughly around $10,000 below its all-time high. So we have a lot to be getting into. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, so you never miss these absolutely insane, groundbreaking, life-changing updates. And as well, guys, we have 3 days left. Technically, right about 4. This actually switched over the past few minutes, so I think I understand how it's counting down right now. So yeah, we have roughly, about 4 days left until this giveaway, so make sure to enter for these 5 ETH. Mommy needs some milk, guys. So there's a lot going on these charts over the last 12 hours specifically, and one of the first things we can talk about is on the daily chart. Did Bitcoin just bottom out? That's kind of the huge question everyone's talking about. The RSI hit its lowest level in the daily chart since over a year ago, since the crash back in 2020, in March of 2020. So that's one thing. So first of all, this bearish divergence has 100% obviously played out to some degree, without a doubt. It's irrefutable, right? And this goes back for the last 3 months. And so that's something just really important that we need to look at. Okay, so as well, one thing we're seeing happening very, very soon is a 21 and 50 day cross here. However, it might be avoided. We're going to be taking a look at that. It'll probably happen within the next 24 hours if that is the case. However, what has happened so far with Bitcoin? So aside from the fact that so far it's found support on one of our 13-month levels of support here for Bitcoin, the next one being all the way down around 41 to 42,000 US dollars, depending on when it gets down there. It's also right at the 100-day moving average, which I'm sure you'll notice is not where the 21-week moving average is. So obviously, I think we even just got some more bullish news for Bitcoin today with JP Morgan. Yes, with JP Morgan preparing to launch actively managed Bitcoin fund. Okay, more fundamentally bullish news. And this is something we've been talking about since back in early 2020. It's just been bullish fundamentally only. The fundamentals have only been bullish for Bitcoin. The technicals over the last few weeks, admittedly, have been bearish. Now, is this the point where we get the technicals to line back up with the fundamentals and get really bullish again? So that's kind of that's what we're going to be discussing for the most of today's video. So obviously we did bounce at the 100-day moving average, and if we go to these smaller time frames as well, we're back in some sort of a bullish uptrend, confirmed, guaranteed. We're back above a lot of these short-term moving averages. On the 4-hour chart right now, we're kind of testing right at the 50 on the 4-hour chart, and the 6-hour still has some work to go, so we're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, start off by saying that we're not out of the woods just yet. This is a pretty strong bounce so far, and it's what we want to see when we're trying to locate the bottom of an actual dip. But again, we're not out of the woods just yet. And I'm going to be talking about what I think needs to happen first. But overall, I think one of the primary themes of this move is that, again, Bitcoin is not close to setting its new all-time high. It's still around like $12,000 below its all-time highs. However, I mean, for example, let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is right about $150 below its all-time highs. Much closer. It has not gone below its 21-day moving average. And some of these alts are kind of testing again to get back above their 21-day moving average. For example, ADA. If we go to, let's take a look at some of these other alts here that are up a lot. BAT, Basic Attention Token, is trying to get back above its 50-day. Then we have Chainlink, again, just testing to get back above its 21-day. So a lot of these altcoins are just waiting for that green light to break back above their 21 days and try to get bullish again. And on the weekly chart, we actually see the MACD crossing, so we're going to be watching out for that. But ultimately, what I think is going on here is that Bitcoin may have just had its first confirmation that we're starting to try to stabilize here. But I still think that there is a little bit of a road to go here. I don't think that everyone should be getting mega bullish and everyone should expect Bitcoin to be at new all-time highs by next week. I just don't think it's realistic. As of right now, I see nothing that would say that, and it's probably not what some of you want to hear. However, again, if you're invested in altcoins, then I have better news for you. But as far as I can see on this chart, this is much, much, much needed. Ever since April 12th, Bitcoin has just been only pretty much going down. About almost a 30% drop since then, right around 28%. And yeah, a much needed bounce here. But again, one of the big tests we have to see over the next few days, if we're going to actually get bullish, is breaking back above 57.5. And that's been a crazy battle zone for months now. 57.5 rings so many bells if you've been watching these videos, because $57,500 per Bitcoin is a target we've been talking about for months when it came to, even just setting these new all-time highs and finding support. You can see right here, it was a big level for that as well here. 57, actually, let's just kind of widen it up a little bit. 56 to 58,000 has just been a huge battle range for Bitcoin. You can see that here with the VPVR volume, kind of just this area right here, about like 56 to 58. This giant level of volume here, and it's just been kind of like the key battle zone for Bitcoin for weeks and weeks and weeks, right underneath 60K, and it's where we keep getting rejected. But for Bitcoin to get bullish, there is still quite a bit of a task, I think, above us. Breaking back above 57.5 and then ultimately 58,000 and staying there on the daily chart, getting a few daily closes at minimum above there, is just the big task that we need to wait for. And again, I'm not going to get ultra bullish on Bitcoin until we actually break 57.5, 58,000, and obviously the even bigger one, 60,000, much bigger psychological and just even number. We're just not there yet. And I think it's going to take Bitcoin a fair amount of time to actually do that. However, in the meantime, something I think we can expect in the short term is for altcoins to start rallying here. They're just looking so much better. I think the entire altcoin market cap is breaking back above its 21-day moving average. Let's take a look at the entire cryptocurrency market. It's not quite there yet. It did have a rejection right off the 21-day, right underneath 2 trillion. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin had a pretty strong bounce, and it still isn't quite there yet. But the altcoins are at above the 21-day moving averages, and they're just looking a little better. I mean, for Ethereum to break to a new all-time high, it doesn't have to go very far. It's right there. It's above a lot of key moving averages, and it's not. Let's just even take a look how much percent it would need to go up. Just like 5% for it to be at a new all-time high at this moment. And some of these altcoins, again, are showing the same thing. But as well, the DXY is now at a very critical point, and this is something we've been watching for we've been watching this for well over a year, but specifically we've been watching this downtrend since April started, since March 31st. And I think this trend is still continuing and looking strong. We see the DXY below all of its key moving averages, 50, 21, 100 moving average, where it just got rejected, 100-day moving average. And let's actually take a look on the weekly chart. Yeah, this is even bigger. It just broke below its 21 weekly. So we've been talking about worst case scenario, Bitcoin potentially going to its 21 weekly. Worst case, again, if we said if it was going to hit 42 or 43, it would most likely be a very strong bounce afterward. So that's just like worst case scenario we wanted to prepare you for. However, let's take a look at the DXY. It's already below that now. As of this week, it's below that. It kind of closed out last week below that. Just got a little bit of a touch and rejection off there already today. But ultimately, whether this takes another few days or another few weeks, what I think is going to happen here is a continued rejection off of here. The first time we broke above this since 2020 was back here at the beginning of March, and then it swiftly got a rejection going into April. April was just a massive rejection off the 50, 50 weekly, and then we're seeing it kind of just plummet right through the 21 weekly. So whether or not this can hold for a few more weeks or not, again, I still think the trend is much to the downside, and that leaves crypto in a very good position to keep gaining value here. And again, the DXY is just important to watch because it's inversely correlated with Bitcoin and crypto and everything, because it's just been inversely correlated with Bitcoin for quite a long time, and it's just a chart to look at. Overall, if the trend of this is going down, overall the trend of crypto and Bitcoin has been going up, right? So just whatever this does, Bitcoin is usually doing the opposite. And I think this is going to keep going down, meaning I think crypto overall, over the next few weeks and few months, foreseeable future, is going to keep going up. But as well, we just want to be careful here because the point of me making this specific topic about Bitcoin is don't get too excited just yet. Everything, I'm obviously incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, incredibly bullish on altcoins, just bullish on crypto in general. I think there is so much room for growth. If you've been in crypto for only a few weeks, you should have no expectation of being rich by now. At least stay in for an entire cycle from bottom to top before you really expect anything, okay? So, if you've only been in crypto for a few weeks, welcome, but there is a lot to this story, and you cannot... Again, crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You cannot just dump it into Dogecoin or dump all into Bitcoin or something like that and expect a few weeks to go by and to be rich. You're just going to have a bad time if you think that. So if you're here and you're new and you're watching that, you are not in a bad position if you're down right now and you've only been in here for a few weeks, guys. This is a much longer-term game. Think of it, I read this all the time. Think of it more as like a retirement account or something. Expect to have, if you're investing in this and you want to make a lot of returns, expect to be in this for a long time. If you're expecting to be in here for a few weeks and then be rich, you're going to have a bad time because it's just never going to happen. It's not how it works. It's not how it's going to happen. But with that being said, I think people need to be careful here because, again, pretty strong bounce so far. Open up the new week of Monday. But like I said, I still think we have a fair amount of room to go before we can get mega bullish here. I want to see Bitcoin above at least 57,500 before I get mega bullish here. However, I do think there is room to get bullish on altcoins, for altcoins to set new all-time highs before Bitcoin actually would approach 57 or 58,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. Again, same story. Bitcoin it needs to get back above some of these moving averages. And as you can see here, there's kind of like a bearish cross being formed here. 21 going below the 50. This is happening. Let's just zoom in to see. Yeah, you can see it's going to happen most likely very soon, unless Bitcoin would have a massive candle above like 57 within the next day or two. But yeah, overall, guys, this is expected, and this is also just healthy for the market. There's nothing bad about anything that's happened over the past few weeks. We have not even had a 30% correction yet, which is kind of like the minimum that we would expect during a very strong bull market. So for anybody panicking, there's literally no reason to panic unless you're new to these markets and unless you just got invested in crypto a few weeks ago, which at this point, again, you should not be panicking whatsoever. If we break below 30,000, then we can start panicking. But at this very moment, we're about $23,000 above $30,000 per Bitcoin. So again, I hope you can tell I'm not very concerned about this. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. And as far as the Bitcoin dominance, I still think this is very likely going to be heading down over the next few months, or at least the next month. Again, I think altcoins are just very, very poised to keep going up here. Some people don't like when I say that because there are probably some Bitcoin maximalists that watch these videos because they're heavily on Bitcoin. It's just what the charts are showing. So basically the point of this video, this is a very nice bounce. We're up let's see exactly how much we're up in the last day. Over 10%. We're up over $5,000 in just like the last 12 hours. So this is good for Bitcoin. We needed a bounce, but I would just be careful because unless Bitcoin can break above 57.5 and get above 58,000, then we can start getting bullish that, okay, maybe Bitcoin's going to go on another run for a new all-time high. But until we get up to there and we concretely cement a few daily candles and we stay there, then I'm not bullish on Bitcoin in the very short term. Mid and long term, absolutely. I think Bitcoin's easily going to way over $100,000 within the next few months. But I don't see that happening within the next week or two, right? We need to break above some other very important levels first. But again, like I've just been repeating over and over throughout this video and pretty much week after week, altcoins are in a much better position. So I would not be surprised. In fact, I'm expecting altcoins to continue setting new all-time highs going into this new month of May. I'm expecting most of these top alts to actually be hitting new all-time highs within the first 2 weeks of May 2021. Wow, so if you guys are a channel, make sure to subscribe to our notifications so you never miss these absolutely time-sensitive critical updates, guys. Make sure to enter. We only have a little over 3 days left until we're doing this. Set to end right at the end of this month. It's the April competition, so, ending, when April ends. But yeah, if you're interested in any bonuses for trading, for TA, for, getting a hardware wallet or anything like that, make sure to check out the description below. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.